Hello there. It is time for another developer stream for GHPC. The month is March 2025, and we have been cooking. We've been making all kinds of stuff. There's a bit of a timing issue though. See, the thing is, we're about to hit April. As you know, nothing ever happens on April. The beginning of April. We never make anything special or release any interesting updates. But if we were to do that, I wouldn't be able to show it on stream because it would spoil it. So we're gonna have to work around that. Luckily, we're making multiple things, as we always do. And I am going to show some of that. Actually, let's be more specific. I'm going to show some things today that won't be in the next update, some things that will, and then not show some things that will. So it's a little up in the air. Let's just jump into the game. Kavi is not here yet. He is supposedly joining later. So if there are any issues, feel free to blame him, because he is not here to defend himself. Alright. So, I'm playing a special version of the game. This is not a real update. There is no 3.23 update, but it's a developer build. If you have a keen eye, you may be able to see some of the things that have changed. Let's see who's observant. Actually, let's just let it play out for a minute. I saw people asking about the 3D printed Sabo. That was made by Maker Steve on eBay. It's pretty good work. Alright. I think I probably let it play enough. Beard has grown since last time. No, the beard has been shaved since last time. Unless I'm misremembering. This is the same menu scene that we've always had, but all of the foliage and texturing has been updated. We'll get into a little more of that. Let's just start up the old Abrams alley. Let's just go with the classic. So, there's like I said before, there's multiple things that we've been making. Some I cannot show right now, but I will focus on what I can show, which we should see right away as soon as this loads. So there might be some differences since you've last seen this. If you have a good memory of what the current release version looks like, you might notice this does not look like it. Not much. Someone said they're going to take so many screenshots when this drops. I've been taking screenshots. It's hard to resist. So yeah, this is a PBR terrain update, and a lighting update at the same time, and an engine upgrade at the same time, and several more things that I can't talk about yet. As usual, we've been cooking as fast as we can, and this was one of the results. We've been working on this for a little while in the background. We keep things very close to the chest until they're ready to show. This one's ready to show now. This is a full terrain overhaul, along with several other graphical improvements. And if the weather happens to turn to rain at any point, we'll see one of the others as well. Also, let me turn the sound up and go... Let's go stick the camera in a forest somewhere. We've got ambience back. It was always supposed to be there. It left in, I want to say late 2022 or early 2023 due to a change in how we handled trees. And we've got it back now. Birds, wind, all that stuff. All the textures have been changed. The lighting is improved. There's specular highlights on the ground now for those who know what that means. And yeah, let's actually play a little bit and see how it looks in action. How much will this affect performance? We're still doing profiling on it, but I haven't noticed any significant issues. You might notice something else different too. Hold on, let's take this guy out. Good. Okay. Something that was very briefly in the game in, it may have been 2021, it was a long time ago. Marks on the ground when you drive. And at that time, the way it was set up was not ideal, and it had a heavy performance impact, so we took it out. This is no longer the case. We have worked out all the issues with it, and it's back. Oh, hold on. Alright, just had to do a little bit of plane spotting. You never know what's gonna fly over. There's some incredibly rare plane options in the game, if you look. Check out that blue sky though. That sky, that ground. I mean, the colors are all different. The vegetation's different. We've got track marks. I believe there are more targets here. Now, most of the particle effects and things that you are familiar with are still the same. There have been some mild improvements. There is a new ammo rack detonation effect, though. I'll try to get it on these T-55s. If it doesn't work, we'll do a mission with T-72s, and we should see it then. But there was an upper size limit on the explosions you could see in the past, and it didn't really suit. Let's say you have all of your ammo go off at once in the carousel. If you've seen footage of that happening in real life, that is a huge explosion. The game didn't have anything like that, even though the turret would fly, but we've rectified that. Let's evade here. We'll reposition. Hit him again. Sneaky. Oh hey, it looks like Copy joined and I didn't know.
All good.
Kavi, any comments on my gunnery today?
Seem to be doing all right for I am prepared to be surprised by this.
Let me turn you up a little bit.
Thank you.
Alright, say something.
Hello, hello. See in the chat, blame Kavi. Yeah, alright. Sounds good. I don't know what I'm being blamed for, but yeah, we'll roll with it.
Oh, that's enemy. My gunnery is fine, but my tactics need work for sure. There we go. So, same game as you can see, but it looks quite a bit different. I think it's a significant improvement, personally.
Let's see. What did I miss from the start? What have you already shown off?
I have shown the PBR terrain so far.
It does look good.
Yep.
Riley has done great work.
Yes. There's another thing about the lighting. If I pulled up this view in the current release version of the game, that lower plate of the Abrams would be kind of shadowed out. It would be very hard to read the decals. We have updated the lighting, so there is better bounce light from the ground and less forced shadowing. And now you should be able to see stuff on the lower faces of turrets and hulls without everything being kind of wiped out in dark tones. There were some problems before where people would they would look at like the bottom of the M60 turret, something like that, and they would see it was almost completely black and think that the texture was missing. It wasn't the texture, it was just a lighting glitch, so that's been taken care of. Anyhow. There's much more variety in the lighting on the ground now. Before it was kind of flat. There weren't highlights. It's kind of subtle. You can only see it in certain light directions, but it's considerably different now. And that's because the terrain is now properly physically based rendering PBR material. Anyway.
Okay, abandon troll.
Yeah. I did not even see it, so everything was a success.
Nothing of value was lost.
Yep. I've seen a couple people asking implementation questions like programming and that sort of thing. I'm not going to answer those on stream. If you're curious, you can check on Discord later, and I'll see if it's something I can talk about.
Yeah. We're much nerdier in the Discord. Here is less nerdy.
Let me switch views really quick while I put something together to show. You guys have any
GHPC
questions?
Farming update.
You guys have
We
questions
get
for
the
Kavi?
Yep.
Go ahead and write those right now.
I don't look forward to these, but I also look forward to them. Any burger set? Yes, actually. I had a burger for breakfast this morning. Yeah. What's the worth of a Kavi coin? Whatever I feel like on a given day. Will you marry me? I'm already taken. Thank you. Do you plan to add visual damage to the vehicles? That comes with some enhanced destruction that is on our roadmap.
That is on the
You can
roadmap.
check out our roadmap at counterheatpc.com.
Oh yeah, I should mention for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, I'll try to link the FAQ in a pinned comment, but if you ask questions in the comment section, we are not going to answer. You're not going to get any info there. So if you want to just hear whatever random trolls have to say, then go ahead and ask, but if you want to hear from us, check the FAQ. Alright, let's get back.
Aircraft ever be playable?
No.
Like the MiG-24s? Nope, not that kind of game.
There are many games that have done a fine job of playable aircraft, and that is not this one. Okay, so I'm doing Germans again. Because there's a small change. Well, first of all, the parallax is fixed on the Leopard one. Sorry, hold on, let me turn these guys down. I can barely hear myself think. The parallax is fixed on the Leopard one, so you can aim directly at the target now and it should hit. That was a glitch. The what else? The drivetrain can be damaged now. There were a few little problems with the Leopard one from last update. They are now corrected.
How dare you suggest that there were problems with the Leopard one?
Well, sometimes stuff slips through, you know?
Blame your brother. Someone else in the chat blames me. Damn. I need to get Joel in here.
I can barely see that guy.
A lot of people throwing martyr in the chat. Is there a martyr somewhere around there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, people see all kinds of stuff. You can never trust it.
Could be anything.
Yeah. Could have been a ghost. So I should clarify, this is a developer testing build. It has some things that are not in the next update. And unfortunately the Martyr is still in a pre-release testing state. But it's done enough that I wanted to show, just because I know a lot of people are excited. It's not going to be long, even though it's not the next update.
Will there be other weather conditions in the game other than those already present? Could. I like the ones that we've got right now, though.
Ooh, that was close. There's new rain effects. I'll try to see if I can get them to show up.
Please give the effects guys a raise. Noted.
Oh, that didn't kill him. I may have made an error.
I was hopeful that you learned your lesson, but
No, clearly not.
clearly not.
Fuck, I can't even see him.
Kavi, will the game be playable? Already is. Check it out.
I'm gonna do the big brain move of not being there anymore.
Now you're thinking. Kavi, why would you make him make a gunnery mistake? First off, I can throw down the lessons if he doesn't want to absorb them. That's on him. That ain't on me. To answer any questions that are, is there a possibility to see this kind of vehicle? When that kind we work on vehicles as they are supposed to be in theater. So, no experimental vehicles, no prototypes, no things that wouldn't be there without any historical precedence. So, British vehicles? No, I don't see them happening. Now, that isn't to say in the future that might change, but not what we're focused on right now. So many people blaming me. I feel like Joel.
There's the cast strike.
Ooh.
Alright, let's see if we can get a magazine detonation on one of these tanks. Is that a live T-72 over there? Oh, it's not burning. If it's not burning, we have to fix that. That's the rule.
Fair.
I'm gonna keep an eye on these guys for a moment in case something goes up. I don't think it's going to.
We get static civilian vehicles just to make the place seem more lived in? Maybe. This is with a very basic pass on a lot of things for like civilian life. I have no doubt that we're going to be adding bigger ammo detonations. They're already pretty big.
I told them that there's a bigger one in the project. If we can get it to trigger, it needs a certain amount of ammo to go up at once. It's gotta be like truly catastrophic detonation.
I can't believe you're just teasing them with your big explosions.
This one looks like it's going off in a smaller chain. The system for ammo detonations is dynamic, so it's not a dice roll. It actually depends on what rounds went up first, what the proximity is in the rack, the oxygen flow, all that stuff. So I can't really predict what's gonna show up here. If I hit a couple of HE rounds at once, we can probably get a big detonation, but I clearly did not do that with that shot. Alright, I'm getting artillery all over me, so it's time to move. Reinforcements. Let's see if I can smoke a couple more of these guys.
You got this.
The martyrs did not fare well this time.
Oh, I just noticed the entire company had been destroyed. Okay, you don't have this.
No, the enemy company has been destroyed.
Oh, okay.
I do have this, but I'm pushing my luck to try to get another detonation to show up.
I'm also just noticing your crew. Oh my god.
Yep.
You're running them hard, son.
I saw those guys drive across. Where did they go? Here's a good example of the new visual effects. You can see the light glinting off the tank at this angle because it's pretty it's a pretty glancing angle. You get a little bit of specular highlight. You can see it on the plants, and you can even see it on the dirt. Because dirt isn't completely matte, there is a little bit of sheen to it at extreme angles. You can see the distant hills are a little lighter. It's an effect that wouldn't have shown up. Why is my camera freaking out? It's an effect that wouldn't have shown up in the previous lighting model that we were using. Alright. It's working. So things should look a little more real, a little more coherent. Everything in the scene belongs together. Not using different lighting models for each thing anymore. Did those guys just fully leave?
AI. When can we expect this update to be released? We don't give dates for that, but we're actively working on it, and, you know, soon enough, when it's ready.
Alright, come on. Give me a big explosion. Por favor. I mean, I like the fire effects. Those were updated last update.
Always good.
That's the medium-sized explosion. We might have to do showcase and force this one.
Do it.
Oh. Oh, I thought that was the surviving martyr. I think it might be... Is it? No, they're all dead. So it just kind of rolled up. Crazy. Yeah, I see no trace of the other P-72s. Okay, well, we'll find it a different time. We're gonna have to take new screenshots for the store page because of the terrain update.
Oh yeah.
The entire environment looks different now.
Store page, our main website. Yeah, any press things that we send out when we send them out.
I saw someone asking if there will be weather. There already is, but it's turned really rare. I'm actually hoping that it comes up because the new rain looks and sounds pretty cool. Let me see if I can find... Yeah, let's go into Showcase and see what happens.
Would you add new tanks next update? We add new vehicles when it makes sense to do so.
I hear rain. I think we are in luck.
Ooh.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, let me grab this thing. Because it has a pretty quiet engine, I think. We'll head out away from the other vehicles. So this is a work in progress effect. There's still a couple of things that we might sort out, but in general, this is actually, this is still making a lot of noise. Whatever, I'll turn it up. Here we go. Oh, I could just go farther away from the vehicle. Why didn't I think of that?
I could finally fall asleep to the game.
Yep. And since we're on a tow jeep, let's try shooting a couple of packed tanks. See if they explode. Gotta get further away. So rain is random. It already exists in the game, but it's a lot more subtle. And it didn't have a special sound associated with it. That's been fixed. Audio guy's been doing some good work. Can I put one through the cheek on this? I don't know. Maybe this angle.
Aside from looking very cool, does rain do any effects to gameplay?
Rain, I think it affects the vision range of the AI. I can't remember if that's in yet. Okay, well.
I believe that's in, but boom.
It just... Oh, there we go. It decided to not sync up, but the effect is working.
But it could be bigger. You know.
It could be.
It could be.
But it won't.
Ow. Oh, you.
Look at that. With the fire coming out of the entrance hole.
Oh my god. I love the work our effect guys do. I love the work we all do as a team. Good job, Josh.
Mm-hmm. I love you too. Is this one gonna go up? This one seems to be going off slower. You gotta get lucky for it to happen. It has to have enough ammo left in the rack, and then enough rounds have to go off at once to do a massive chain reaction. And then that can do the big boom.
I prefer that. A rare instance, you know?
Yeah, if it happened every time, it would devalue it for sure. But when you're trying to demonstrate it, it's frustrating if it doesn't happen. Well, we saw it once. That's good enough. Yeah, new textures on everything. I mean, this whole map has been updated just like the others, so there's actual gravel on the gravel berms now.
Wait, what was it before?
It was a really washed out gravel texture where it was kind of
Gravel
like
like.
it was like a suggestion of a gravel pile.
Oh.
Now the suggestion is more of a direct order.
Oh yeah, you're right. Very stark. Yep, GHPC gravel update. That's what's coming.
Yep. You can see what I was talking about with the lighting. Well, you can look through the rain effect. The lower front plate isn't shadowed out into darkness anymore because we updated the shadowing, and you can see that bounce light from the ground a little bit better now. So screenshots should generally be slightly improved besides the obvious change in the terrain. The vehicle portion should be improved now. One thing I like about these tracks is how they glint because you're compressing the ground and any groundwater is getting kind of squished out. So when the light comes at it from a certain angle, you can see it shine. It's pretty cool. I'm tempted to just drive around and make patterns on the ground with the tank tracks, but
It's your game. You do what you want. Is wetness going to be attached to the vehicles as well, or
like
right
when
now?
it's raining, making the surface shiny.
Yeah,
I I know there's a prototype that was being worked on for that. I don't know if it's actually going to be a thing.
gotcha.
I wouldn't want to put words in the art team's mouth, let's put it that way.
Well, it's just fair. Yeah, I didn't know if that was going to be a thing.
Yeah, it's certainly something that we are looking into. There's it's very tempting when we do these to just talk about all the stuff that we're trying, but I don't want to disappoint if something doesn't work out, so I try to be very cagey about it.
You're the cagiest man I know.
Anyway, let's get to another real mission.
Well, here's one. Will weather effects affect vehicle handling eventually?
I don't know. That's it's certainly something we've thought about, but it's never made it far enough the to-do list to actually have an answer.
Yeah, we've had some prototypes for weather, even just past rain, and that's kind of where they've lived while we were focused on the rest of the game.
I saw
They
someone
give
ask
concrete.
I saw someone ask what M829 is in the background. This it appears to be kind of a cross between a regular M829 and an M829A1. I think the dimensions are sort of in between. I don't remember what it was actually um, billed as. You could always check out Maker Steve's page and see what's going on there. All right, what do we want to do here? See if I can get some Maluka shots. Let's mix it up a little bit. Saw someone asking about German voice lines. The ones in the game right now are the first draft, so to speak. There is a strong likelihood that we'll have different command flows eventually for East and West, but no word on when that'll happen. Like I said earlier, there is a lot more that we've been working on besides just the PBR terrain update and the work in progress martyr, but unfortunately it's not ready to show. But when it is, you will find out pretty quickly. How complete are the Leopard 2s? Not complete enough to show on stream.
Womp womp.
I'm excited to show them when they're done, but it won't be today.
Yes, GHPC is partially inspired by Armored Fist 3. I believe you played that a lot back in the day, Josh.
I did, yep. I'd say Armored Fist 3 is probably the major inspiration for me making a tank game in the first place. These guys are loud. Now obviously there are a lot of differences. Ooh. That was way over. What range are we looking at here? Uh-oh, alright. Oh, that's horrible timing. I was so excited to do a Malyuka shot.
Even if you miss, I'm just happy you make explosions.
Thanks. My guys are going nuts with these missiles. Alright, you know what? Let's do a mission where I can actually get a shot off here.
I mean, you're getting plenty of shots off. Are you getting plenty of hits though?
That's the problem.
That's the mindset you gotta go in with.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Someone suggested Morning Misery. That is a good mission, but I wanna shoot a Malyuka. I believe that is on Point Alpha. IFV incident. Ooh, I've never won IFV incident on this computer. Interesting.
Right, on this computer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're trying to imply that
I don't know
I've
what I'm
not
implying.
completed all the missions in the game, then
I don't know why I would imply that.
we need new lore. Action scripter doesn't play GHPC.
I'm just saying. Just saying you gotta put some reps in, okay? Just that's all I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
Can BMP1 also get the new explosion effects, or only MBTs for now?
It's only things with a certain amount of explosive mass in them. I don't think BMP is one of them.
So I was thinking.
Alright, with the power of foreknowledge, I'm going to wait for the tanks to crest this hill. Hello, tank.
Uniquisher. By the way, did you know you can press F to swap weapons? I don't know if you knew that, Josh.
Nothing?
It's skylined hard. God damn it.
Nothing? Nothing? Ziel erkannt. Feuer. Achtung.
There we go.
Nice.
Do thermals look through this engine smoke? Yes. Thermals can see through every kind of smoke in the game except for some of the Warsaw Pact's artillery smoke. Usually we give it that kind in missions, not always. There's a bit of nuance to it in real life. It's not always a yes or no. It's more like a partial obstruction, but as far as the game mechanic goes, you can see through smoke with thermals for the most part. I think my hull's not sitting properly, having issues with gun depression. Oh, hello. That's no good. Alright, now that I've shown what not to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The engine update did some small changes to physics, and we had to retune a couple of the vehicles' suspension balance. I think the BMP-1 might need some more attention. It seems to be leaning. But that's why this is a dev build.
Yeah. They all certainly look better than the screenshots you posted. We will show those off to the Patreon. After this.
Vorladungsgranate. Schützenpanzer. Treffer. Treffer. Feuer einstellen. Wir laden.
Oh, hello.
Vorladungsgranate. Treffer. Feuer einstellen.
I thought I was done.
Laden.
What are the plans for AI, if anything? And then they go on to ask several pieces. There are numerous plans for AI, and it's always being worked on, but nothing we're going to share yet.
Yep. We have lots of cool ideas for how AI can be improved. We'll see which ones make it in. I've seen a bit of lore spring up that since the roadmap doesn't mention AI, we're not going to do anything about it. That's not the case. We don't put everything on the roadmap. So I'll just leave it at we'll be improving it. There's a driving rework in progress. There's several targeting logic updates and vision updates that we're thinking of doing or working on and prototyping. It'll all sort out in the end. Just don't worry about it. It's the reason we emphasize the roadmap is because we don't want people to expect things that are not explicitly planned. But in this specific case, improving AI, I can say that we'd consider that an obvious area of improvement, and we're going to be looking at it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
But we get so many general questions. The roadmap and the FAQ are usually the things we throw people at.
Yep. So this is why I wanted to play this mission, just the opportunity to do a manually guided missile shot. I've seen people say that it's really hard to control the Malyutka, and that is true. My advice would be to use small inputs, give it a tug in a direction, and then let it move and get a new velocity across the screen, and then pull it the other way, stabilize it, see what happens. Just be quick and sharp, and then watch how it reacts. That's usually the way I go.
It's extremely similar to how the actual operation of that missile is, right?
Yes.
Goes over a little bit.
Yeah, they had a little joystick. I think it was kind of clicky, although I've never seen one in person. But they would just tap it in the directions that they wanted. I'm told that they would hold it with a couple of fingers instead of like, the whole fist, and that would allow quicker, more precise responses. I haven't looked at North Fields yet in the new PBR. We have time for a couple more questions. In 5 minutes, we will end the stream and go to the Patreon Q&A. We do that every month, even when there's no stream, and that is where people can ask us whatever they want within reason, and we're a little more candid about the responses. We also show
definitely more.
Oh yeah, way more. We also show teaser material way in advance of the streams and other things that properly reveal it. So there are some things that are in progress that only patrons have seen right now. Also, they get test builds. The MBT tier gets test builds ahead of the releases. So lots of incentives. If you have spare income and you think that sounds cool, feel free to support. If that's if you don't want to spend the money on it, that's fine too. We're not wanting anybody to stress themselves about it. You just wait a while and the stuff will show up in the game anyway.
And while that does go to support us, some of the biggest things that you can do to support us as well is just share the game with your friends. Go on Steam, grab the page, throw it out to people, leave us a review, any of that kind of stuff. We have a very kind of strict budget for how we spend things, and one of those things is we don't really do a lot of marketing. We're focused on making the game. So one of the best things you can do to get this out into more hands is to just be a fan of the game and show it off. We would appreciate it.
Yep.
But now that we've shielded ourselves a little bit, let's get some questions in here. Any thoughts on ray tracing in the future? That is a super brand new technology that we don't want to even touch because we're still making main content for the game. So nothing on that right now.
Yeah.
I give GHPC a big thumbs up. Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope that is that actual thumbs up in like Steam, because that's their reviews, but I appreciate that more. Is there any way to access older versions? Not at this time. For a while we had patron builds up on itch.io, We took those down once we went over to Steam to keep things centralized. Older versions exist in the ether. Some people actually have like downloaded copies of those. I know that much from the community Discord. You might be able to find something there, but I mean, I'm not gonna go and tell you should ask around, because people could just drop you whatever they want online. Do you have an office where you all work? Yes. It's my basement. Everybody works there. It's an extremely expensive endeavor. No, we're a global sort of company. We have people and contractors all over the world. Australia, Vietnam, Europe, etc. So we're all fairly work from home. Sometimes I go to a coffee shop.
I like how Europe is one country. And that...
I'm not going to name all of the Europe country. They just get Europe.
I gotta admit, I expected I was gonna have BMPs on the hills and troops in the open. I did not expect tanks. This the randomized configurations for this mission are clearly a step ahead of me right now.
Some may have copies of a certain unnamed tank game. If you have a copy of Josh's unnamed tank game, that is lore right there.
Yeah, that's an artifact.
Old. How are thermals with the new terrain? Closer to realistic. Isn't that correct, Josh?
Yeah, so I'm still working on the gain for this, but the PBR makes the thermals suit the lighting logic of all the other objects better. It's kind of blown out right now, though. It needs tuning. So that'll be changed. That's why I haven't been shooting in thermals a lot, because it's a little bit bright at the moment. Oh, there's the troops. Hold on, I see a BMP. Okay.
Will we get controls to adjust the thermals?
That's unknown. Alright. Infantry hate this trick.
Did he just say gunner sabo troops? Did we get the line?
You did before, yeah. Depending which voice actor you roll for your commander, you can get the fuck it, launch a sabo at him.
One of my favorites.
Yep. Oh, I hit the tree. How dare this man survive?
He just wants to go home to his kids, Josh. Can your bloodthirstiness know no bounds?
Nope. Is that a whole ass T-72?
Under the hill.
I'm over here shooting at individual men.
Will Josh ever learn how to play this game? You know what? He's gotten pretty good over
Listen,
the years. He's gotten pretty good. I'll say it. I'll be the first to say it. You know?
alright, fuck him up.
Uh-oh.
Thank you. There's still someone alive. This is a ripoff.
Can you shoot down planes? Go ahead and try for yourself.
They don't like it very much. Alright, it appears to be after end time.
Yep.
So to recap, for people who came in late and missed the initial explanation, what this guy is. Oh, they're all alive still. Alright, hold on. Let me either win or die first, and then I'll say what I was gonna say. Load Sabo. Let the range scale change to Sabo. There we go. Oh, he was over there. Right. Oh. Okay, there we go.
Nice.
There's the big instant ammo rack.
Nice. We're ending on a high note.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll let it sit on that while I explain. So, for those who missed the initial part of the stream where I explain what's happening, what I'm showing you today is the PBR update for the terrain and the lighting tweaks that we've made. That is going in the next update, as far as I know. I also showed the Martyr earlier. That is a work in progress vehicle. It is not ready yet. It is not going in the next update. There is an additional piece of content that I cannot show that should be in the next update. You'll just have to keep an eye out for that. And then there's a few things like the rain, which we saw earlier, and new sounds, but you'll see all that in the patch notes. For now, it is time for the Q&A, so thank you all for coming to the stream. We will see you in 2 months.
Check out our Discord. Bye.